Even the happiest relationships in the beginning, are erased and destroyed over time. They will definitely be destroyed by themselves. Even the happiest and healthiest relationships in the beginning. For this not to happen, healthy relationships need to be helped. Love needs to be brought up. This video describes 7 golden rules for how to bring up love in relationships, how to understand that these are the relationships in which it makes sense to maintain the level of security, stability, and emotions in a relationship. At the end of the video, there will be the 7th and most important rule, the main belief. If you put it into your head, you can be sure that you will have happy and long relationships, not these and so on. The first rule is that happy and deep relationships are always a combination of 2 principles, certainty and uncertainty. At the beginning of a relationship, there is certainty, when we understand that the person wants to be with us, and there is uncertainty, we are not sure yet if he will be with us for sure, if he belongs to anyone. And as you can remember, this stage is called the sweetest period in a relationship. When there is certainty in a relationship, there is uncertainty. Very often, there is a lot of certainty in a relationship, when we are sure that we are together, we have children, we have a common life, we have a common business. They become very few. And when they become few, then the interest in a person disappears, that is, the craving disappears, the interest disappears, and the passion disappears. There are people who are looking for a very high level of certainty in life, and there is no certainty at all. I'm not a drug addict. I'm a drug addict. We are friends. Sophie and I are dating. And all the other rules will be about how to maintain a balance between certainty and uncertainty. The first thing we want to say is that if there is a lot of certainty, we feel bad. And a person starts to think, maybe I should change my partner, maybe I need another person. Although the reason may be that we just raise the level of certainty in a relationship, raise the level of interest, raise the level of independence, lower the level of certainty a little, then the relationship will be in balance and we will understand that we really love this person. And every time it gets boring, you don't have to look for a new partner, or some people are looking for a partner abroad, in order to close this hole of the momentary lack of emotion here and now. The second rule is that any relationship should move forward. Any relationship is not static, it doesn't stand still. They always, like the statuses in the gray system, they go from one status to another. If the relationship is too long, it is fixed at one stage, then it begins to collapse. The stages of the relationship and the purpose of each stage of the relationship is a topic of a separate issue. I will tell you about it in another video. To not miss this episode, be sure to subscribe and click on the bell. Now we can see such a picture, for example, that the couple lives together in what is called a civil marriage. If you live now or you have a friend who lives in a civil marriage and cannot decide whether he is there or not, then like this video. This is a relationship without a certain future where people have not chosen each other and decide if we want to move on to the next level of our relationship. We always have a goal in our relationship. For example, you and I, my girlfriend, are building a house. And the goal of our relationship should always be that we see different houses, we stop building. We started building with another girl, and we understand that we are doing it, we are building one house. This relationship is like a house where we will live, and our children will live. If we do not build a house, then why do we come here to the construction site? Just to hang out at the construction site, to travel around the world. The relationship is always a goal that goes beyond the boundaries of the relationship. To build something, the first, the second, to build the third. As a rule, people live in a civil marriage because they have not fully chosen each other. They do not really want to live alone, but they are not ready for a relationship, or not ready for a long relationship, or not ready for a relationship with this particular person. And then they get into such a space between worlds. It seems that we have a relationship, but it seems that the future of this relationship is not clear. If I'm a girl, I want a man to make me a proposal, and he makes me a proposal. This suggests that a man is not as confident in himself as a future wife. The value of a woman in a relationship is low for him. If she were tall, he would act for her. If not, then. But the stages should change. If the stages don't change, if the couple, for example, gets stuck, as a rule, there will be such a heavy feeling in both of them, as if something is wrong. Because the wheel of life should roll forward, and it kind of spins like a wheel of a car stuck in the mud. The third rule is to spend once a week for yourself, without a partner. It's a time when a man spends time with other men, but not like some people. My mommy doesn't know that he's gotten hurt in a body shop doing something unholy. If they want long-term happy and deep relationships, it's great to spend a day or a week without each other in order to reload the receptors. You know, like in a perfume store, when you smell a perfume, then you need to smell coffee to reload the receptors. Some people reload the receptors in an inorganic way. For example, they go to cheat. They say, "I cheat for the sake of marriage." In fact, cheating is always the death of relationships in their original form. Even if a person, as you think, does not know, then these relations are already over. The topic of cheating is chic, the shine of the booties. One of my favorite topics. A man in a male team fulfills his needs that a woman should not have. For example, what do men do with men? There is tough humor and black humor. Men joke with each other, they are aggressive, and they are self-assertive. It's quite normal in a male team. But when I don't have this atmosphere, then I will humiliate my woman, I will be self-assertive because of her. These are sarcastic, ironic, and some tricks in order to feel better. The same with women. One day a week without a partner is very important in terms of the fact that we are separate people, we have our own lives, our own circles of communication. You are moving away to get closer. If you are constantly close, you don't appreciate this closeness, you don't understand it. Therefore, periodically you really need to move away in order to realize the value of a partner next to you. And the next day you already feel good, you will feel disgusted. Disgust is not a sign of divorce. It's a sign that we need to start living our lives a little bit separately, at least once a week. The fourth rule is to go on a date once a week. Where is the man inviting? The man invites the woman. A man and a woman accept an invitation. A man. I often tell people in a marriage, in a couple, like, once a week you need to go on a date. And she is like, will my husband mind? That is, for many people, the beginning of a relationship is the end of a date. Like, a date is something that is typical for the first stage when we only take care of each other when there is passion, when there is interest, and then we just live together all our lives. Maybe we'll get divorced or someone will cheat on us. These are all the adventures. It happens that we live in a life of non-romance. But if a woman doesn't dress up once a week, she starts to kill emotionally. And she starts to look for if she doesn't feel strong emotions about going out with her man, she will still get her emotions, but she will get them in a different way. Through scandals, through some hard conversations, and so on. Because the fish is also emotions for the fishless emotions and scandals. Because for a man it seems that he has no difference where he will go. Let's order delivery at home, and watch a TV series. And we tried completely different volumes of romantic actions of men towards women. I'm not sure if it's a good thing. I mean, we had 30 days for my wife. Every day you do something good. The result was devastating. She can't manage to put it all together. It's too much. It's when you overeat. When you overeat, you get a poisoning. Once a week, go somewhere for an event. And a date. By the way, how to organize a date, it's a separate video. What is important for a woman? To have certainty again. I know that you are my man, that everything will be fine, and that there is uncertainty. For example, today I tied my eyes to you, put the car in, tied my eyes, and we are going somewhere. But there is uncertainty that you most likely will not get in, will take me and bury me. But on the other hand, there is uncertainty when a woman does not know for sure what will happen. And when she does not know for sure what will happen, this romantic element very well complements the emotions for a woman and for a man. And the next week we can go to a restaurant. And in the third week, we can go to a hotel and watch TV shows and eat pizza. So if we go to the same restaurant every week and order the same dish, it's not good. Because, as we said in the first rule, there are two principles of certainty and uncertainty. One date a week, where a man invites a woman and a woman agrees, is an integral element of long-term happy relationships. The fifth rule is to constantly increase your value for yourself and for another person in a relationship. It is important to understand that the partner only reflects my attitude towards myself through his behavior. And here a person falls into a loop. The lower his value of himself, well, he is not confident, let's say, he sees that his partner stopped doing something, and his uncertainty is strengthened even more by this. Even more uncertain, he begins to demand certain behavior from his partner, the partner reflects this even more, and his confidence still falls. For the sake of love, a person gives the keys to his self-esteem to another person. I need you to constantly confirm my value and importance. At some point in time, a person did not play such a role. Interests and attractions appear in men and women only when they are equal. And, Accordingly, I should not be in relations, but in my life, learn to be valuable to myself and draw my own self-esteem in my own life, so that my self-esteem, if my self-esteem into your own life. If my self-esteem does not depend on the behavior of my partner, then my partner will behave optimally and ideally towards me. The sixth rule for happy and long relationships is that a woman enjoys, a man enhances this enjoyment. A woman's very special value is the ability to enjoy her life. If a woman knows how to enjoy herself, then a man strives to enhance this pleasure with his actions. And if a woman can't enjoy herself, she has a hard time living. She is constantly under stress, she is constantly doing, she is constantly running, she is constantly winning. And she does not enjoy herself, she does not feel happiness. And then it seems to her that she does not feel happiness because a man does not do anything, does not call on a date, doesn't give you gifts, because you are constantly in a state of lack of this pleasure, in stress, in thorns. And it turns out such a marital circle where a woman does not show feminine behavior, a man, in turn, does not show masculine behavior. And a woman begins to be offended and demands that she change her behavior, although the point is that everyone can only change their own behavior. How can you change your behavior? Learn to enjoy yourself. The enjoyment of a woman is her care for herself, her beauty, and, among other things, her social realization. And here is a very important remark. A woman can also earn money for herself in the order to which it increases her enjoyment of life. If a woman strives to have a happy and long relationship, then the first task that she must solve is to increase her own enjoyment of life, which does not depend on other people, but another person can enhance this enjoyment. A man strives to increase this enjoyment. Due to what? Flowers, gifts, romance, giving money. And in this is enjoyment, too. And it is very important that there can be no enjoyment when I do not see my life without another person, no matter how paradoxical it is. If a woman or a man lives with the thought that he can't live without her, he starts to behave inadequately in a relationship. The relationship is filled with lightness, joy, and pleasure. Therefore, when both understand that everything is fine with us, and we are happy with each other, then we strive to appreciate and not lose each other. If there is an attitude that I can't live without you, what we are afraid of is what happens. And these relationships should be established in such a way that you overcome your fear of losing these relationships. The most important rule in building long, happy relationships is that everything can end. In the belief that love lasts for life, there may be security, there may be stability, there may be care for each other, but there will be no passion, there will be no new actions, there will be no such thing as what I'm doing for myself, to grow in these relationships. If I work on myself, if I have a conviction, yes, I appreciate our relationship, and I want us to be together for a long time. But I live on the basis of the conviction that everything can end. And based on this, so that this does not happen, I work on myself and on our relationships, so that they become better. But I live on the basis of the conviction that everything can end. And based on this, so that this does not happen, I work on myself and on our relationships, so that they become better.